I'm joined this morning by David Mullins following the fantastic win last night from Brookside Ritchie in the Juvenile Classic at Towcester. David, I know you're quite a calm character, but I would imagine that you were probably sweating a little bit. A fantastic final.
Sweating? That's a slight understatement. Yeah, well, I mean, fantastic final. It ended up that way. I mean, had we got chinned on the line, I might have disputed that one. The dog, he started how he was hoping he'd start, done everything right, and going down the back straight when he was opening up, I thought, well, okay, as long as nothing goes wrong, you should win now. And then I just see the one dog eating into him, and I thought, this ain't right. And gradually it got him by the fourth bend. I thought, oh, I can't believe we've got beat. And they tussled to the corner, to the line, and fortunately the result went our way. Because I was thinking what happened at Sunderland when he got chinned, and I can't believe he got beat in that final. But
that was Ted Soppett's dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a red hot final. It's just when he's in front, coming off the last bend, and he gets done on the line there, you think this can't happen twice in a row. Because then you start questioning things. But I'm not a time person, but I was interested to see what the time was like after the race, because that would have told us a few things, and the time was there. So, it was a great result. Great result for the kennel. We've got potentially a very nice dog there, and the future looks bright for him.
Your kennel at the moment is as strong as it's ever been, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably the strongest, really. To be honest, we've always carried a nice dog, but when you're looking at the team of dogs we've got, I was saying to Julie last night, we're going down to Hove on Saturday, and I said the team of dogs we've got in the back of the van, they're bloody good dogs.
Yeah.
Whether they win or not is another matter, but they are a serious team of dogs. It is strong.
I want to ask you about Hove, but first of all, just to say about Richie. I gather that when I was looking at the breeding, that the same owners actually had the mother, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they own the bitch, and John in Ireland asked if he could have her for breeding, and I asked them, they said, yeah, no problem. We did put a deal together. They had to buy this one, but they got another one, and they were, they bought it young. It was just one they picked out. They had first choice, and they've been lucky to get what looks like probably the best one in the litter, and really that's the way it should be.
Very much. So who are the owners? Because we don't know.
Well, the owner's Richard Vickers. He's an elderly chap. He's had dogs for over 50 years.
Really?
He's 77 years old. This is the first, like he was telling me last week, the first time he's ever had a Cat 1 finalist.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I mean, he's not the richest man in the world, but money couldn't buy the dog, because what would he do with it?
Absolutely so.
He's going to enjoy the dog, and I was talking to him after the race. You could tell he still talks the way he does, but in his voice you could tell there was a little bit of emotion there, which was nice. Really nice. You could tell he was, really buzzing. He doesn't show too much emotion.
Yes. And who is it that did the rear, and who took the bitch on for a litter?
Yeah, John McQuillan did in the Northern Ireland. I just call him Belfast John, really. So funny thing is, he don't even live anywhere near Belfast.
It's up there somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Northern Ireland. So he's got the litter. He's got another litter now to Pastana, which I think he's very excited about. And these owners have bought one out of the litter, and one or two others. I mean, I've tried to get a few of my owners to buy from her, because once you get a proven bitch, as you well know, they do genuinely carry on throwing. So,
and also she's fabulously bred, isn't she? I mean, she's a sister to Droopy's Verve, so I mean, you're not going to get any better than that, really, are you?
No. I mean, to be fair, all dogs are well bred, but there are certain dogs that are very well bred, and But if you can get, just because they're well bred, it doesn't mean to say they're actually going to throw or do anything. But she is throwing, so there's no reason why she shouldn't continue.
The kind of thing that your mum would always have done out on the breeding side. I mean, she was a good sort of minor open class A1 bitch at Romford, wasn't she? And she can have fabulously bred, so it's kind of a perfect combination.
It is, but I mean, she was a little bit unfortunate not to be a bit better than that. She was a bit frustrating at times. She definitely had top draw pace, and she picked up a couple of injuries and was probably retired a little bit early. But it's turned out for the best, really.
Yeah, yeah. For a healthy young bitch, you probably get more pups and hopefully more litters
Yeah,
as well. So, oh, it's nice. It's nice. I mean, and of course for the owners to have had the mom and to follow the pups all the way through from babies puts an extra dimension on anyway, doesn't it? Rather than just going out and buying one.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was great. I mean, last night we got a lot of good luck and well done, thanks. But it was really touching to get the first one that made a call was John, my brother, and
Yeah.
that's always nice.
Well, he's a class act, your brother, isn't he? I mean, we
Yeah,
both know that.
yeah. So he said well done before he left, and or good luck before he left, and was straight on the phone straight away. So it means a lot.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. And just plans going forward?
Well, the actual Toaster Classic wasn't our main feature. I mean, the dog sort of caught us by surprise. We qualified, and we qualified well. Wasn't expecting anything, and because he hadn't been out for a couple of weeks, I booked him a trial at Central Park and gave him a sprint, and he was only 4 lengths off the clock, and it was, Central Park's times do stand up, and I thought, Jesus, what we got here? And I was talking, and he was out. He come out in a race. And I thought, that's a bit too hot for you, for being a young pup, just been schooled. And he absolutely skated up and did a good time. And I was talking to the owner prior to that, and we was looking at the Sunderland race because he lives up in the northeast. And I said, look, this dog's going to have to win Tuesday, and he's going to have to post a time, which we wasn't really expecting for us to warrant going up there. And once he did that, we went up there, done a fast trial, won his heat in the first round, got to the final, got beat a short head. But I already had him penciled in, booked for a trial at Hove. And after the final, I thought, well, you may not get this, but, and I was having an eye whether to trial him or not. Because initially he was always meant to be for the Romford Puppy Cup. That's what the owner wanted him for. So I said to him, we'll trial him anyway. It'll blow his lungs open and he'll strip fitter from it. And he got the trip on his head, which left us scratching our heads for a while. So that's why I took him to Toaster, give him a trial there, and the rest is history. So stepping forward, he'll be going for the scaffolding puppy competition on Saturday. He's got track ones, he's come out of the race last night in great shape. He's bouncing this morning when he was out walking. So we'll see what the future brings.
And age-wise, I hadn't even thought about it. Age-wise, he's okay for Romford, is he, for the pup?
Oh yeah. He's plenty young enough for Romford.
I think he was, if I remember, he was the youngest in the final, wasn't he, last night?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
youngest in the final. Five wins and 2 seconds out of 7 races. It's not bad going, is it?
No, I was actually saying to my daughter this morning, this dog's had 7 races and he's been on 5 different tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of his trials.
Yeah, of course.
So which I think for any dog that's gonna be good. If you can get them moving around, so they get used to travelling, get used to going to different places, used to different tracks, and in the future you haven't really got to give them trials because they've probably already been there.
Very different kind of tracks as well. I mean, someone like Sunderland compared to Toaster. And Romford again. I mean, very different, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the Sunderland one was the main reason for going up there was because the owner lives up there.
Yeah.
It's like I said to him, if you're going to go that way, you've got to really be going with the intention you can win this, not hoping you'll qualify.
Yeah.
Whatever happens is one of those things, but you've got to have a realistic chance of winning it.
Well,
It's not cost effective.
no, no. I mean, you'd know Sunderland very well anyway, wouldn't you? Because you spent a period of time there, didn't you?
Yeah, and you get you know what sort of dog you need for it. But logistically, things are getting harder. You've either got to take a team of dogs, or because it's the cost of fuel. If you're only taking one dog, it's a 600-mile round trip for us.
I was going to question because I think that was it £3 to the winner at Sunderland?
Yeah, yeah.
So it must have been a knife edge as to whether you travelled or not. I would have thought.
Well, it was, but the owner, if the dog's good enough, the owner lives that way. You've got to give it a go.
Yeah.
It's all right for us down here, and they come down and watch their dogs or whatever. But it's nice to take them up there, so it's on their doorstep. They support us well, so sometimes you have to put the effort in and go on these long journeys.
Yeah, fabulous. I can't let you go without just asking you briefly about Saturday, Hove. I mean, Shakira, a great starting point, I would have thought. What do you think of the draw?
It's the draw before the competition. When you looked at the lineup, you put second to none really. There's some serious greyhounds in it. I'm quite happy with the draw. I just look at it. If she traps like she normally does, she should be able to get the inside. And then with Blue Tick George, he might have more middle pace than her. We'll see, what we've got on our hands. Every race she's stepped up to the plate. Most of the races have been, a little bit harder. So this one's no different. I know for sure she can't afford to make a mistake. That's the calibre of dog you're up against.
These are the absolute Premier League of stayers, aren't they?
Yeah, you've got to do it right from the start. You won't get no second chances at this level.
No. I mean, these are the great occasions, aren't they? Hove in the summer. I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh, it is. I mean, I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to actually, but we was on about, you just come out of the Derby. All right, the Derby didn't work out for us, but the whole festival of racing they had there, all the supporting competitions was, superb. And it was like a festival of racing.
Yeah.
And then a week later, you move into Hove with another festival of racing with top class dogs, and then it'll probably move on to somewhere like Monmore, and hopefully they can keep moving it around the country. And if you can keep creating these festivals and have the best dogs turning up at the same tracks, keep moving on rather than pitching in against each other. It's got to bode well for the sport and all the punters.
Yeah, I mean, they complement each other, these tracks. I mean, Monmore, another great example. You've said. I mean, people want to race there. There's a good track, good people running it. We're sometimes perhaps a little bit negative, aren't we, in this industry?
Yeah, sometimes when you're looking at the calendar and you think, I could go there, but that clashes with that, and that clashes with that, and they end up getting split. And at the moment, looking at the calendar, when you're looking forward, they're not clashing too much.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to look forward to, for the rest of the year.
Yeah, hopefully we can. When the new owners rep is decided, hopefully they'll have a little bit of input along with the trainers into the scheduling, because I sometimes think it's a little bit. I don't know. The tracks are doing their best, but I'm not sure that they always appreciate the difficulties that the owners and trainers find when they're trying to schedule.
Yeah, I think over the last few years, because we've spoke about this on many occasions, throughout the country. I think people are looking at it a lot more closely, and I think it's definitely the way forward. Sometimes you can't help but clash races, because it gets congested. But if you can keep going, all well.
The other thing that Entain are doing as well, which is a big help, of course, is running two competitions at the same time, isn't it? Because it allows you to fill a van up rather than just take one dog or two dogs. You can probably take 4 or 5 if you've got dogs for different distances.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that amount of, you've got that calibre of dogs in your kennel, it works out brilliantly, and I mean, look at Hove. You got the Regency running with the Sussex Cup. They're not going to clash, are they?
No, no.
They're two different types of dogs. So Romford do it with their ones. Monmore always do it. So if they can do it more often and just send so the festival moves from track to track, put the big races together. I mean, it's like the diary I was talking to Nathan Corden. This juvenile classic.
Yeah.
A great incentive. Get running. During the derby, but it'd be great to see the first round run with the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Both semi-finals go back together, and then if you could have the final of the puppy won the race before the actual derby, it gives you you can compare next year's derby runners with this year's derby runners, and you can compare how they stand. That the dogs get just feel the buzz of the atmosphere and see how they handle it, and it can only benefit them in the long term.
Alternately, of course, is we could do a little bit like Ireland, which with their puppy derby sort of on the Friday. I know it was always because it was Harold's Cross, but the sort of the Friday and Saturday, and maybe make more of a complete weekend festival.
Yeah,
I guess.
That works as well. There are different ways of tweaking it, but I'd love to see, whether we were involved in it or not, a puppy derby, the race before one of the derby, so you can compare this year's crop with last year's crop.
Yes, of course. Very last thing before I let you go. 10 pin. Happy with him for Saturday?
Yeah. I mean, it was a great run. We needed it. He needed it. It just shows how much he doesn't run Toaster.
Yeah.
I like the way he railed, and his pace from second to third was what's been missing for a while as well. So, I mean, the actual race itself, it's red hot, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is red hot. I mean, he's sandwiched in between two aeroplanes, and somehow he's got to find a way through
it. That's dog racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's the same for all of them, and this is what this is what we do it for. When you line up for those races, you wouldn't you'd prefer it if it was the final.
Yeah.
But when you're pitching it, it keeps your heart on tender hooks.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see the kennel doing so well. It's great to see that. So you with a smile on your face, and fingers crossed.
Is that unusual?
Mate, it's been brilliant to talk to you. Fingers crossed, we'll be having another conversation in a couple of weeks' time, shall we say?
Yep. Hopefully, please God, and everything goes well. We can keep it going.